European Union has been a key driver for economic growth, bringing peace and prosperity for all EU countries over the past half-century. Yet, more is possible. The European Parliament calls for taking the path of ambitious common action in order to step up to the challenges of today and tomorrow. At the European Parliamentary Research Service, we have analyzed the potential gains that more EU action could bring to 50 different policy areas that touch on the lives of citizens. Examples include health, defense, and energy. The findings of this analysis are summarized in a study called Mapping the Cost of Non-Europe. My name is Meena Fernandes, and I'm a policy analyst at the Research Service. Here with me today, I have Wolfgang Hiller, Director of Impact Assessment and European Added Value, and also Jerome Saulnier, Policy Analyst at the Research Service. Together, we will dive deeper into what we call the cost of non-Europe. Welcome, Wolfgang.
Hello, Meena. Glad to be here.
Great. And hello, Jerome.
Hello, Meena.
Wolfgang, let's kick it off with you. Could you tell us, our listeners, what is the cost of non-Europe?
The cost of non-Europe, simply put, measures the consequences of not working efficiently together in the European Union. Analyzing the cost of non-Europe, as we did in our study, gives us the opportunity to see the economic, social and environmental benefits that EU action can bring to the European society and its citizens. And we found that these benefits could reach up to 2.8 trillion euros per year by 2032.
2.8 trillion euros, that's huge. Could you explain this more?
Yes, indeed. 2.8 trillion euro is a lot of money. And we found that these potential gains can be achieved within the current legislative framework and without treaty change. It's important to mention that it's not only about the economic gains, but also about more social well-being, more prosperity, including a greater income for EU citizens, and a better protection of the environment. These gains imply decisive and ambitious common action from policymakers. The alternative is to keep on the same path, or even worse, to allow fragmentation that would definitely set us back.
Okay, so ambitious common action can bring us big benefits. Let's turn to Jerome. Could you tell me about a specific example where the EU action has brought tangible benefits across the Union?
Thank you, Meena. A specific example is, of course, the single market. This year, we celebrate the 30th anniversary of the single market, so it is a very good time for us to look back on its achievement and to see what more can be done. A direct benefit of the single market is that intra-EU trade grew significantly from a value of 17% in 1992 to around 28% in 2021. This has helped to increase employment. We have estimated that 3 million jobs have been created since 1992, and also improved cross-border mobility. Furthermore, the single market has also had a positive impact on investment and competitiveness, as better integrated EU value chains have developed.
Is it possible to further integrate the single market and to bring more benefits?
Yes, indeed. The single market was a success, but more integration is possible and desirable. Currently, an average EU country trades 45 times more within its border than it does intra-EU. The reason usually involves complex administrative procedure, the multiplication of different national rules, as well as low accessibility to information. In our report, we evaluated that further action in removing these administrative barriers could significantly boost intra-EU trade in goods, with potential economic benefits of more than 200 billion per year in 2032. Further action in removing obstacles to free movement of service could also bring additional benefits of almost 300 billion euro per year in 2032.
Wolfgang, you mentioned before that more EU action could bring more economic gains. What about also for citizens and the environment? Could you tell us more?
Sure. What we noticed while carrying out the research is that the economic gains are closely interlinked with the social impacts, the environmental impacts, and the impacts on fundamental rights. All these areas are interconnected. So what we really need is a holistic approach to policy making. We cannot pursue one objective without thinking of the others. or we think risk undermining what we set out to achieve.
A holistic approach to policy making sounds novel or risky, but it is an important message for our policymakers. Would you like to expand more on this holistic approach?
Yes, some of the big challenges that we face currently. Let's look, for example, at the climate crisis and the need to provide enough energy at reasonable prices. They are interconnected and reinforce each other, so possible solutions call for big picture thinking. Moreover, we need our policies not only to perform well today, but also to be resilient to future shocks and other challenging situations.
This sounds like quite a challenge. Jerome, could you tell us more about how the findings of the study could be used by policymakers?
Yes, the Cost of Non-Europe study is what we call an evidence-based approach. So the estimations that are provided should be taken as information by the political representative to help them in their thinking and decision-making process. It is one of many tools at the disposal of the political representative. A big advantage of the analysis is that it is tailored to each policy area, and it is also forward-looking. So it is not based on a single one-size-fits-all macroeconomic approach. Another advantage is that the analysis is linked to legislative proposals made or considered by the European Parliament. It is therefore deeply rooted in concrete and current political discussion. The idea behind the Cost of Non-Europe is that unless evidence of the benefits of EU action is put forward, then EU member states have no incentive to coordinate their action to transfer competencies or budgetary resources at the EU level. And failure to take advantage of these benefits can lead to de facto wasted welfare gains for EU citizens and wasted opportunities for businesses.
Thank you, Jerome, for being with us today. And thank you, Wolfgang, for the excellent exchange.
Thank you, Meena.
This concludes our first episode of the EPRS Chronicle on the mapping of the cost of non-Europe. The key message is this: choosing the path of ambitious common action can deliver big benefits, even in areas where the EU has already made substantial progress. In the next two episodes, you will find out more about choosing the path of ambitious common action from colleagues in the European Added Value Unit in the EPRS. Thank you and stay tuned.